The Skydiving Ghost. Part 2, Echoes in the Stone. I drifted inland, a semi-translucent smudge against the sky that still bled purple. After shattering that litho leader back at the coast, the waterkin started looking at me like a god. But I didn't feel like a god. I felt like a ghost searching for a memory. Elena was out there. Somewhere in the heart of the continent, where the earth held its people tighter than gravity ever did. The flare hadn't just rewritten humanity, it had redesigned the food chain. Below me, the glass oak forests were teeming with things that shouldn't exist. I watched a glimmercat stalk through the crystal undergrowth, a feline the size of a mountain lion with fur made of refracting shards. It didn't just hide, it mimicked the light around it, becoming a blur of shimmering glass until it was too late for its prey to scream. Even the birds had changed, their wings now metallic sails that hummed with a low, killing frequency. As the terrain rose toward the old volcanic ranges, the air grew heavy with the scent of sulfur and scorched metal. This was the territory of the incendiaries. They were humans caught in the thermal vents or near the magma flows when the light hit. They didn't just use fire, they were fire. Their skin rippled like cooling lava, and their breath was a dry heat that could turn a man to ash in seconds. They didn't care about building a new world, they just wanted to watch the old one melt. But the mountain held more than just flame. I found the ironclads, a specialized breed of litho born from the deep mines and/or deposits. While the common earthers were made of granite and clay, the ironclads were veined with raw copper and jagged iron. They were the blacksmiths of this new nightmare, pulling metal directly from the soil and shaping it into jagged armor and serrated blades with a flick of their wrists. To them, the world was a giant forge, and anyone not made of stone was just fuel for the fire. I expected every litho I met to be a monster, but the deeper I went, the more the earth started to soften. I drifted over a hidden valley, a pocket of green that felt like a wound in the gray landscape. Here lived the root keepers. Their skin wasn't jagged rock, but thick, protective bark covered in shimmering moss. Their limbs were gnarled like ancient cedar, and their eyes held the soft, steady light of a forest at dawn. They weren't hunters. They were healers. I watched an elder root keeper kneel before a shattered glass oak, placing a bark-covered hand on its trunk. Under his touch, the jagged crystal softened, and actual green leaves, real, soft, living leaves, began to sprout. They were trying to coax the world back from the brink, fighting a silent war against the corruption of the flare. But even here there was no peace. I watched from the clouds as a squad of ironclad guards descended on the valley. They didn't want the beauty of the forest, they wanted the mineral wealth beneath it. They saw the root keepers as weak, a soft version of a superior race. A struggle broke out, the sound of metal clashing against wood echoing through the trees. I was about to turn away, to keep moving toward the hospital ruins where I hoped to find my sister, when something caught the light in the churned-up soil. The ironclads were digging a trench, tossing aside anything that wasn't ore. Among the dirt and bone, a small metallic tag glinted. I dived low, my body turning into a blur of ozone. I hovered inches above the mud, my eyes focusing on the rusted insignia on that tag. It was a nurse's ID. Elena's hospital. She wasn't an aerial. She wasn't a ghost like me. She had been on the ground when the world ended. My sister was somewhere in this hierarchy of stone and metal, either a healer in the moss, a slave in the mines, or something far more dangerous. The sky used to be my escape. Now the ground was the only thing that mattered.